One of my favorites, the power of so.
Okay, so this is the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like okay, just okay. You have a point. I'm glad you made that. You get the last word. Okay, that's fine. So the power of so. So many challenges offered by skeptics amount to little more than intellectual trash talk. These are clever sounding complaints that have rhetorical impact and effectively intimidate the opposition, but have nothing to do with any reasonable case against God or Christianity. Here's where a bit of reflective thinking coupled with a simple tactic can be golden and just kind of take the level down. Again, we're not trying to make the person mad, but by responding to their claim of, you're just an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. I wish when you're dead and gone, then it'll be a lot less child abuse in the world.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. So
that means my point isn't true,
right.
or it is, or what? How does that affect my point?
Right. So he says, I want to teach you the tactical power of a humble 2-letter word. The modest word is a little giant, putting the ball back in the skeptic's court and putting you in the driver's seat. When used properly, it can stop a challenger in his tracks, turn the tables, and get him thinking. The little word used question is so. Yeah. Okay. It's not uncommon to hear the dismissive Christians are stupid from critics. My response is, you're right. Some of them are. So,
right. What does that have to do with the truth of Christianity?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Christians are hypocrites. My response is, yep, some of them are. In fact, I would say most of them are. In fact, I probably am within the scope of an hour. You got me. I admit it. So, churchgoers have all sorts of vices, but this tells you nothing about Christ.
Yeah.
I like your Christ, but I don't know about your Christians. Give us time. We're working towards it.
That's right.
God is working in us, I should say. We're not working towards it.
That's right.
Here's a final example, one that he's heard frequently. You're a Christian because you were raised in America. If you were raised in Iraq, you'd be a Muslim. My answer is probably so. And you can do this with them too. Yeah. The reason that you're an atheist is because you're living at this day and age. You wouldn't be an atheist if you lived 500 years ago, or you'd be a slave owner if you were in the times. Oh no, I would be an abolitionist. Well, when the abolitionists were torched and murdered and killed, and less than probably 2% of the population were abolitionists before the Civil War. You're one of those 2%. Oh man, I wish I could have the convictions over time that you could. So even if true, what does that tell you about the merits of Christianity versus Islam?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
What does that tell you about the merits of theism versus atheism? Nothing. And also, this doesn't account for people that come out of those worldviews. In fact, atheists themselves come out of Christian families. Does that mean that that doesn't account for anything within that person's story about removing themselves from a Christian family, of Christian upbringing?
Right.
No, that doesn't mean anything about the validity of atheism or the positive aspects for Christianity.
Right. So what they're really trying to say is, well, your social environment affects what you believe.
Nurture nature.
Well, that may be true, but the question is the belief true? Right. So, we're not going to look at the source. That's called the genetic fallacy, right? No, we want to look at the belief itself, regardless of what our social environment, how that might affect us, right? That's really what they're trying to say. And he's saying, so, yeah, that's true, but what does that have to do with the belief?
Right.
Right.
This may be an interesting observation about culture or anthropology, but it tells nothing about the truth or error of the specific religious claim. Right. So the power of so. These attempts are nothing more than genetic fallacies or ad hominems, all irrational missteps, not thoughtful responses. Anyone advancing such an appeal is being unreasonable, and so kind of just takes it for what it is. Mm-hmm. And so if they want to leave the conversation from there as a winner, so let them. You're not there to hold people down and waterboard them into the gospel. You're there to present the gospel, and if no one wants to listen, that's up to them. So listen carefully to a challenge, then ask yourself what follows, even if the claim is accurate. If there's nothing that you're aware of, point out using this tactic, then see what happens.